The following podcast contains adult content. It is not suitable for minors, professional settings, or the faint of heart. FOREPLAY Goes South is open mic storytelling. Hosted monthly by Metanoia, attendees share their intimate, sultry, salacious tales. If you haven't heard, FOREPLAY Goes South is now offering monthly featured storytellers. It's storytelling with benefits. Our first featured storyteller will be Regina Queena. Come listen to her share at Petra's on June 20th. For a little taste of what Regina has to offer, here's a story she shared on the stage in March.
Hello. I'm Regina Queena. I want to take a minute to take a deep breath. I mean, literally. And tell you how wonderful it is to be able to be up here and tell kinky stories. And to have kinky stories to tell. In a room full of friends, with low stakes, with about a third of you have seen me naked. Yeah. Fair point. So this is my kinky DIY story. And I have to tell you, the last 8 or 12 months, I've really been on a tear to kind of reclaim myself, my space, who I am, what I've done. And I moved into a 2-bedroom townhouse in Matthews and started to do a lot of DIY. I mean, little things like hanging pictures to make sure they're straight, put a level on it. Yeah, that's terrific. Changing out the switch plates to make things feel better for myself. A little more difficult things. I painted my refrigerator with stainless steel paint, which their stainless steel paint is really freaking cool. Yeah. The hardest thing was I had to change out a light fixture in the master bathroom, and it gave me a huge heartburn, but I wrestled it into compliance and I won. I showed it who's boss. I'm boss. I'm boss, at least over the light fixture. Okay. So I started bragging about the whole DIY adventures to a girlfriend at brunch not too long ago. And she's like, oh, I have this fireplace I really hate, and I want to paint it, and it's, and I've never held a paintbrush, and I really don't like it. And I'm like, oh, I can help you with that. And this is a woman who I absolutely adore, and I met her first on a hike with some kinky friends. So I got a chance to see her spectacular ass and some spandex workout clothes. So I got a chance to do a little friendly pat and really enjoy meeting her and her ass. And we have since played together at a party with other friends. And I do understand I'm illustrating one sex story with another sex story, but get over it, because that's the way it is. Okay. But we didn't get a chance to play solo. So the DIY day came. I'm all dressed up like a painter. I've got my old clothes. I've got all my supplies, and she had gotten some supplies. And we put the tarp down, and I'm saying things like, oh, well, you've got to, we're doing the fireplace. You've got to do the grout lines first, and you've got to cut in. And why don't you use my angled brush? And in the back of it, and she's like, she's like, oh, all of the terminology. And I'm like, yes, I do. And I am like, how, all the while I'm like, how am I going to turn this into a 70s porn where I'm like, I'm here to help you paint your fireplace. How do I get your clothes off now? So we finished the first coat of whatever the first coat is, and I'm like, okay. And I was like, okay, I got it, I know. I said, we're going to be at the same party this weekend, and you said you had that little neon pink string dress that you weren't going to wear and that I might want to have. And she goes, oh, yeah, it's upstairs. And I'm like, bow, chicka, bow, bow. It's upstairs. And we're upstairs, and I'm like, oh, this is it. We're going to play dress up. This is going to happen. And she goes into the drawer and she gets, okay, you've gotten these things from Amazon. They come in these like vacuum-packed 4x6 that has 3 dresses in it, and you take it out and they're like, this is not going to fit a Barbie doll, and then somehow it stretches to fit a full-grown woman. So I'm in this, string, and she's all the while she's touching me, and it's like, I think it's off the shoulder, and I think this goes this way, and like, oh, and I'm preening, and she's preening, and I said, oh, well, this would look really good on you, and it was like sparkly, and it had, some kind of woven, some kind of pattern or something with a butterfly by that spectacular ass of hers, and then we're both naked. And this is my opportunity, and I bend her over the bed. And all of this gorgeous ass is right there, and it needs to be bitten. And it needs to be spanked. And I slowly work the fingers of my left hand through the tight curls of her head, past the nape of her neck to the curve of her skull, and I grab hard, and I lay my forearm down her back, put some pressure on the point of my elbow, and start raking my fingernails down her ass on both cheeks, and spank a little light, a little hard, a little harder, both cheeks. And every once in a while, I'll go back up to her ear and say, do you like that? Do you want more? Yes. And I spank hard, and I spank soft, and my hand is starting to sting, and I can feel the heat rising up off her ass. And I come back to her ear, do you like that? Do you want more? And she says, I have a request. Would you go rinse off so I can eat your pussy? Abso-fucking-lutely. So I go and rinse off and come back, and she's already laid the towel down on the bed because I'm a gusher. And she lays me back on the pillows and starts with fingers and toys and lips and on my clit. And the waterworks start, and they come, and they keep coming. And she comes back up to my head, not to my ear, but to my lips, and kisses me with the taste of my pussy on her mouth. And that was the best DIY project I ever
had. This episode of Foreplay Goes South podcast was recorded and produced by event host and podcast creator Metanoia. These stories are recorded live every third Tuesday of the month at Petra's in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information about Foreplay Goes South, follow us at ForePlayGS on Facebook, FetLife, Instagram, and Twitter.